You feel me? Like this one. The most controversial songs of all time. By my boy Matty Bose. I don't know those controversial songs personally. But let's see.
From President George H.W.
Drink
Bush
water, by the
publicly
way.
condemning body count song Cop Killer to Lil Nas X being condemned in church by pastors across the United States for his song Montero, these are some of the most controversial songs of all time, starting off with NWA's F the Police.
Fuck the police.
You guys already know that I can't start out this video without mentioning this song, so let's check it out. NWA is a rap group that was formed in 1987, originally
What'd you say, folks? Oh my God, it's I Show No Bitch. Wait, folks. Hold on. Oh my God, it's I Show No Bitches. You know, I would say something to you, but you is right. I don't got no bitches. So you is right about that. So yeah. A bitchograph? Shit, folks. I mean, I would, but you know how that shit go, man. You know, I don't really like giving bitchographs. Get your bitch ass on my chat. Yo, what's up with all these haters coming in the chat today? Like, for those on YouTube, what's going on? I don't know. Back to the video, though. My fault. Back to the fucking video.
comprised of Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Arabian Prince, and Dr. Dre. DJ Yella and MC Ren joined shortly after the group was founded. When they released their debut studio album Straight Outta Compton in 1988, it featured a handful of popular songs, including F the Police. The song features lyrics like, "A young guy on a warpath, and when I'm finished it's gonna be a bloodbath of cops dying in LA," and "Messing with me cause I'm a teenager with a little bit of gold and a pager, searching my car looking for the product, thinking everyone is selling narcotics." It also tells the story of a trial against the LA Police Department, with NWA playing characters such as the judge, court officers, and witnesses. They said that the song was inspired after Eazy-E and Dr. Dre had an altercation with the police where they were shooting paintballs at cars, and then the police came to them with guns drawn and forced them to lie face down on the freeway. This led to Dr. Dre being in and out of prison a lot. Following the release of the song, it got very controversial, especially when the FBI actually sent a letter to NWA's record label saying that the song was misrepresenting the police and that they were upset about it. The letter said that F the Police encourages violence against and disrespect for the law enforcement officer. However, Jerry Heller, the manager for NWA, later said that the letter was actually written by one guy who worked for the FBI named Milt Ulrich. He made it seem like he was representing the entire FBI, when in reality it was just his opinion, although I wouldn't be too surprised if most of them had the same opinion as well. However, this letter just helped further popularize NWA and their hit song. The group hardly commented on the letter, but they made many comments about the song itself, all echoing the same feelings, that young black men were always harassed by the police, so the song was made to take out their frustration. They said they weren't actually advocating for violence against police, instead they were just playing characters and expressing themselves. Because of how controversial the song was, it was not played on any radio station except for one in the world called Triple J in Australia. However, after 6 months of playing it, it was banned by the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, so the staff went on strike. This song has since become a protest song in instances of police brutality, and just recently went up over 300% in streams after the George Floyd protests. It was a lot more controversial for its time, especially since it came out in 1988. Nowadays though, I think it's a little bit easier for a bigger artist to make a song with the same message and get away with it.
God Save the
In 1977, the Sex Pistols released their second single, God Save the Queen, which was a song that was essentially critiquing the monarchy. It had lyrics like, "God save the Queen, the fascist regime. They made you a moron, potential H-bomb. God save the Queen, she ain't no human being." Here's a clip of the lead singer, Johnny Rotten, who actually wrote the song, talking about his stance on it more recently.
"I just think that if I'm paying my tax money to support this system, I should have a say-so on how it's spent. I love my country, I love my people and everything about it. But if there's problems within it, I think I have the right to say so. And when I wrote God Save the Queen, and this is me expressing my fully competent point of view on
What do you make, John? What do you make
of... You're
of...
more than welcome to disagree.
The biggest radio station in Britain, the BBC, banned the song, saying it was gross bad taste. After that, every single other radio station followed suit, banning the song from being played. The song was actually so controversial that other than just being banned from every radio station, the band wasn't allowed to play at many venues, and very few record stores sold the album. Apparently, some people in the press even claimed that they had committed an act of treason, and they called for their public hanging. Despite the song being banned, it reached number 2 on the official UK charts and number 1 on the NME charts. This led to people thinking that the BBC had actually tampered with the official UK charts so that the song wouldn't make number 1, as they had already expressed their disdain for the song. Many people to this day still believe that Sex Pistols were robbed from their number 1 spot. Regardless, after the song was banned, the Sex Pistols got on a boat named the Queen Elizabeth near the palace. That year, Queen Elizabeth was celebrating her Silver Jubilee, which was the 25th anniversary of her taking the throne. Then on the boat outside of the palace, they played a handful of songs, one of which of course was God Save the Queen. Shortly after the live boat show began, the police surrounded the boat and arrested a bunch of people on board. This was a really big stunt and many people in the media were very upset about it. However, a lot of young people and protesters were excited.
Oh yeah, Lil Nas X Monster. I mean, I know about this one, yeah, because if you know, he was. I mean, I'm gonna let my nigga Matty Balls explain.
This is probably one of the most controversial songs in recent times, and it wasn't just because of the song, it was also because of the music video and the shoes that were released alongside with it. So as we all know, Lil Nas X began blowing up due to his song Old Town Road going viral. Because of the crazy popularity of the song, he garnered a fan base with a lot of young fans, which he's also acknowledged. He collaborated with Sesame Street and even released a children's book. Other than Old Town Road getting removed from the country charts, Lil Nas X was a fairly controversy-free guy in the public eye, at least in terms of his actions. It seemed like back then he was a very likable person that most people tended to enjoy. On March 26 of 2021, Lil Nas X began his album rollout by releasing the song Montero, Call Me By Your Name. The song itself wasn't really what caused the controversy, other than some lyrics here and there. But the issue was the music video, which most of us probably know shows Lil Nas X kissing a creature in the beginning, then he flies down this pole, like this giant stripper pole type of thing, and then he gives the devil a lap dance. And then to top it all off, 3 days after releasing the song, he released his infamous Satan Shoes with Mischief, which featured a bunch of satanic imagery and even a drop of blood in the little air bubble thing. This sent a ton of people into a 2021 satanic panic. The governor of South Dakota tweeted about it, Candace Owens tweeted about it, and even Joyner Lucas decided to chime in. Many articles were written condemning Lil Nas X, and there were even multiple pastors in church talking about it as well.
You tell Lil Nas X I said so. Bunch of Satanism, bunch of wickedness, bunch of devilism, bunch of demonism, bunch of psychotic wickedness.
I'd honestly be surprised if you're watching this video right now and you aren't aware of this controversy, because it was such a huge deal a couple of years ago. This situation was such a big deal that they even talked about it on the news, which is pretty crazy. Lil Nas X addressed the controversy a handful of times, like in one interview when he mentioned that he grew up in a religious home and thought that the devil was to blame for himself being gay, making him dislike himself. So he said he wants kids growing up to know that they're okay how they are, and that they don't have to hate themselves. He also posted a note on his Twitter that he wrote to his 14-year-old self, in which he said, "I know we promised to never come out publicly. I know we promised to never be that type of gay person. I know we promised to die with a secret, but this will open doors for many other queer people to simply exist." So that was the end of the controversy, or at least as people thought. However, a couple weeks after the song was released, Lil Nas X tweeted out, "Not even joking, everybody stream Call Me By Your Name hard today, because it may no longer be available tomorrow and there's nothing I can really do about it. Thanks for all the support though." Many people were very understandably confused about what he meant by this, because he didn't really clarify anything. Following that, Columbia Records tweeted, "Thanks for all your comments regarding the song. It's unfortunately out of our control, but we are doing everything possible to keep the song up on streaming services." Some people reported that they weren't able to play the song, or it said it was unavailable when they tried to play it. Others speculated that it was some sort of oppression because of the gay lyrics in the song, or maybe the overall association to the controversial artist. However, shortly after all the tweets, Billboard did confirm that the song was not going to be pulled from streaming services. After that, Lil Nas X said, "Thank you to everyone for using your voices. I'm not placing any blame on the streaming services. Most people have said they are able to go and re-download. Please let me know if you guys still have a problem." It was never revealed whether or not the song was taken down on accident or by some sort of glitch, or maybe it was on purpose because of all the controversy surrounding the song.
XTC, Dear God.
Dear God is a song that was released by a band called XTC in 1986. It tells a story about an atheist who wrote a letter to God challenging his existence. The song kicks off with the lyrics, "Dear God, hope you got the letter and I pray you can make it better down here. I don't mean a big reduction in the price of beer, but all the people that you made in your image, see them starving on their feet because they don't get enough to eat." The entirety of the song essentially just follows that blueprint but with different critiques of God. The song was eventually left off the band's album Skylarking with conflicting reasons given by the band members. Regardless, it was still released as a B-side song to the album, and that's when the backlash began. Actually, it wasn't even really backlash, it was just straight up violence. So obviously a ton of religious people were upset about the song, but one guy in Panama City, Florida went as far as to threaten to blow up a radio station that was playing the song if they didn't stop playing it.
A radio station, I think it was in Florida, played it, and a peace-loving Christian phoned in and said, if you don't take the record off the air right now, I'm going to bomb the station. And I ain't joking, so they took it off the air.
There was another incident in a New York high school where a student forced the staff at the school to play the song over the PA system while holding a knife to them. Those were the major incidents, and other than that, the band just received a bunch of hate mail. Some stores in Britain didn't want to sell the song, but it never actually got banned like other songs did on this list. Songwriter Andy Partridge said, "I really felt sorry for the people who got so upset at someone expressing an opinion that might be contrary to their beliefs, or at someone who might have another take on their beliefs. How could that make them so violent, potentially?"
Body count, cop killer.
On a very similar note to NWA's F the Police, Cop Killer by Body Count was a very controversial song. The song was made by Body Count, which was a metal band formed by Ice-T in 1990. In 1992, along with their debut self-titled album, Body Count released the song Cop Killer. Ice-T said that during a band rehearsal, he was singing a song by the Talking Heads called Psycho Killer, and the drummer Beatmaster said that they should write a song about getting revenge for police brutality. It was also inspired by cases such as Rodney King. The song is, like the title obviously states, about a guy who is fed up with police brutality, so he becomes a cop killer. It's pretty evident in the lyrics that it's about getting revenge for injustice, with lines like, "Cop killer, I know your family's grieving, cop killer, but tonight we get even." And as I'm sure you can imagine, this song had a huge controversy when it got released. Unlike NWA's F the Police, this song outright described a lot more in detail violence against the police. Although Ice-T did say, "At no point do I go out and say, let's do it. I'm singing in the first person as a character who is fed up with police brutality. I ain't never killed no cop. I felt like it a lot of the times, but I never actually did it." On top of that, he's expressed many times in many interviews that he isn't actually anti-cop, but he's against people who take advantage of their position. However, despite Ice-T's many explanations about what the song was actually about, the controversy was insane to say the least. The combined law enforcement associations of Texas wanted a boycott of every Time Warner product until they removed the song, or the entire album, from all the stores. Many police organizations joined the cause, and even 60 members of Congress did as well. The main argument was that the song was going to and had already caused crime and violence. Charlton Heston, who was a shareholder at Time Warner, encouraged them to remove the song from the album along with other shareholders. This story was all over the news, and it became such a big deal that even Vice President Dan Quayle and President George H.W. Bush voiced their issues with the song.
It is wrong for a powerful, influential corporation like Time Warner to make money off a record that says it's okay to kill cops.
I stand against those who use films or records or television or video games to glorify killing law enforcement officers. It is sick.
It became a very huge debate about free speech and how far is too far. There were also many people defending the song, suggesting that there was a double standard since Body Count was a black metal band. Ice-T said in an interview, "They got mad because it crossed over to the white kids, but when they publicized against it, they called it a rap record. In other words, when you say rap, that means black, and you'll get more people behind it. Whereas if you say rock, some parents out there would be like, wait a minute, I like rock." So it was kind of a racist way of attacking it as a rap record. Cop Killer is not a rap record. And it's true, if you listen to this song, it's very clearly a heavy metal record, or metal record, I don't know, I'm not good with genres, and it's actually pretty good. Regardless, stores began taking the album off of the shelves, and the controversy actually got even worse. But the album sales just kept going up. Eventually though, Ice-T and his manager made the decision to take the song off of the album. The reasoning behind this was 1, because Ice-T was just sick of the controversy, and 2, because him and his bandmates felt bad for all the people at Warner Brothers who were getting a ton of hate for this. People at Warner were receiving threatening phone calls, racist letters, and all sorts of other threats. Ice-T said that Warner did not deserve the hate, so they took the song off of the album and replaced it with a song called Freedom of Speech. So yeah, this was a huge deal, and to this day the song is not even on streaming services. I think there's a couple YouTube videos with the song, but other than that, it's gone.
Damn. The pill.
In 1975, country artist Loretta Lynn released her song The Pill, which, as I'm sure you can guess, is about the birth control pill. And because of the time and the genre she was in, it was a pretty controversial song. The song had lyrics like, "All these years I've stayed at home while you had all your fun, and every year that's gone by, another baby's come. There's gonna be some changes made right here on Nursery Hill. You've set this chicken your last time because now I've got the pill." And that was essentially what each stanza was like, but with different analogies each time. It may seem weird that she was so passionate about the birth control pill until you learn that she was actually married at about 13 or 15 years old and had 4 kids by the time she was 18. I believe her husband was 20 or 22 years old when she got married, which is pretty weird. Eventually, she had a total of 6 kids. And if you're wondering why she hadn't just taken the pill like she was saying in the song, it was because despite being created in 1960 and universal birth control being legalized in 1972, it wasn't super accessible for everyone in 1975 like it is today. This song was very controversial, like I said, because it wasn't a popular thing at the time, especially among country listeners. 60 radio stations banned the song, and a preacher in her home state devoted an entire sermon to the song, denouncing it. She almost got kicked out of a live show at the Grand Ole Opry for playing the song 3 times. She said that a week after the performance, she found out that they had a 3-hour meeting about whether or not they should even let her play the song. To this day, the pill hardly receives any streams on radio stations, despite some of her other songs getting thousands of spins a year. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Obviously, I couldn't include every controversial song in this video. I did the ones that were the most controversial, I think, especially like body count. You know, the president was talking about it. That's pretty crazy. Anyways, though, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like down below. Other than that, this has been Matty Balls, and I'll see you guys next time.
WV, man. Shout out Matty Balls, man.